This week, Brooksy gets some ballet lessons in a sport that's much more than brute strength.
You might be wondering what I'm doing underneath all these shoes, because I'm wondering.
The Aussie kids that are getting a nation up and running.
And the Olympic Stadium, from paddock to amphitheatre. We track its progress as we head towards the Games.
Hello and welcome to the Games. I'm Tracy Holmes.
And I'm Neil Brooks. On the show today, we're playing favourites, your favourite Olympians, that is.
We're going to the Olympic site for the latest on the construction of the main stadium.
And we'll find out what Olympic girl Tanya Blenko is up to these days. First, though, to the story of two schools separated by thousands of miles, Tari West Primary and Joro School on the edge of Kenya's Rift Valley.
These enterprising New South Wales students have come up with 200 ways to help foster future Kenyan Olympians. You might be wondering what I'm doing underneath all these shoes, because I'm wondering. The truth is, the kids at Tari West Primary School have decided that they're going to give a special offer to some of the orphans at a school in Kenya and give them the chance to become some of the world's greatest athletes.
The kind of help that they were really looking for was, first up, I suppose, money, because that was essential to buy the things that they needed. But they were also asking for used clothing, bedding, books, anything at all that was going to be able to help these kids basically survive. We thought it was an ideal opportunity for us to do something just a little bit more special, and so we thought, Olympics coming up, so we thought, hey, joggers for Joro, what could be better than that? We've got the joggers, we've got generous kids here, needy kids there. We need to get them there somehow.
Hi, my name's Daniel Wicks and I'm from Tari West Public School. There's got to be someone out there to help us get these joggers to Joro. Please help us.
Those kids have done such a great job in collecting all of those shoes, but as you saw there, the school needs help if the shoes are going to make the long trip to Joro in Kenya.
Now, if you can help, drop us a line at lockbag 7777, Epping, New South Wales 2121, and we'll put you in touch with Tari West Primary School and we'll keep you all posted on the Joggers for Joro Challenge.
Keeping us in touch with the Games news is Paul Marshall from 7 Nightly News.
Marjorie Jackson is the new member of the SOCOG board. The Lithgow Flash replaces Rod McGeoch, who was instrumental in bringing the Games to Sydney. Bullseye, and there were plenty of those at the Olympic archery venue's first international event, the Sydney Cup. The event has attracted the world's best from 10 countries. Prime Minister John Howard announced the Olympic torch relay will spend 16 days travelling through 12 Pacific Island nations on its way to Sydney in 2000. They include Guam, Tonga and Fiji. And in a gala event tomorrow night, the Paralympian of the Year will be announced at the Star City Casino. I'm Paul Marshall for the Games News.
Coming up, who is Australia's favourite Olympian?
Up-and-coming Liz Weeks in water polo.
The girl who helped us win the Games, her dreams for 2000.
And what is the Sports Minister doing with a hammer in her hand?
I'm going to let go of it now, am I?
Yeah, you're going to let go, so watch out, everyone.
Who is the only Australian athlete to win 3 individual gold medals, all in world record times at the same Olympics? Was it Shane Gould, Betty Cuthbert or Dawn Fraser? Find out after the break on the Games Birthdays. A big happy birthday from all of us here at the Games goes out to Shane Gould. Shane was the only Australian to win 3 individual Olympic gold medals, all in world record time, in Munich at the 1972 Games. Shane Gould, who swam on the international stage for only 3 years, is still regarded as one of our finest swimmers ever.
Shane Gould, one of Australia's favourite Olympians, but also this week celebrating a birthday, Tracy Wickham. Happy
Been
birthday to
on
both.
many teams with Trace, and she's a great Australian. But if you cast the net a little wider to include all Olympians, I reckon you get a pretty interesting list of favourites.
I'd say so. That's exactly what Liz Weeks found when she went out on the street this week.
Do you have an all-time favourite Olympian?
I do. I don't think she's represented yet, but up-and-coming Liz Weeks.
Muhammad Ali. For all time,
All-time favourite
Marlon
Olympian? yeah.
Matthews.
Marlene Matthews.
Yeah.
Isn't he sweet? Liz Weeks is his favourite.
Penny Haynes.
Penny Haynes, the swimmer. Yeah.
Kathy Freeman.
Daley Thompson.
Yes, Daley Thompson. He's very nice. Yes.
Mark Spetz.
I really wouldn't know. I'm the least sporting person I know.
Boyd Charlton.
King Carl Lewis. It's got to be. 9 gold medals. Can't go past that.
Well, Brooksy, you know, as far as I'm concerned, you'll always be my favourite Olympian.
Now, how much did that cost you?
No,
Hey?
I didn't even know that was
That's why you asked for her number during the week. What, Liz? You
No,
know,
no,
can you
no,
just
no.
say at the
But
end of the story?
She recognises one of my many qualities, versatility.
And where do you display that most? Don't worry. Jackie Kelly is the new Federal Minister for Sport. Neil introduced her to one of the veteran track and field events, the hammer throw.
Jackie, thanks very much for joining us on the Games. And I guess the one question we all want to know, since you are now the Minister for Sport, is what do you know about hammer throwing?
Well, Australia's got a very, very good chance at the Olympics for medal with Stuart Randell.
Jackie, pleased to meet you. And
Sir?
your name?
Sidekick.
Neil.
Yeah.
Neil the sidekick, right. How are you?
Very well, mate. There's obviously a lot more to this sport than meets the eye, and particularly strength. I mean, very much a technique event.
Yeah, it's both strength and technique. They say that we're the Barishnikovs of track and field because we're so gracious in all our movements. And, well, look at me.
You're an
Gracious.
artiste then?
I'm an artiste.
You're an artiste.
Yes.
You're a big fella, and you were saying you started out as a discus thrower, but you weren't big enough for discus, is
Yeah,
that right?
yeah, that's right. Yeah, no, I started as a discus thrower, but I wasn't going to be tall enough.
What about shot put?
Yeah, they're meatheads. Yeah.
Unlike yourself,
They're not
of
too
course.
bright. They're not as articulate as some others, you see.
And who's our shot put representative?
Justin Annalzark. Yeah, nice guy though. Great guy. A bit bigger than me.
Speaks very highly of you
Yeah,
too.
speaks highly of me, yeah.
Come the Sydney Olympics, Stuart figures his stiffest competition will come from the Germans, the Hungarians and the Russians.
You have to throw 80 metres to make their team. Not to win a medal, but just to make the team.
For the record, Stuart's best competition throw to date is around 76.5 metres. He took the gold medal at this year's Commonwealth Games, and the good news for Stuart and Australia is that at 26, he probably won't peak for another 5 years. In the meantime, our new sports minister is just itching to hurl the hammer.
The safest place to be throwing the hammer is holding it. Everyone else is in danger. And yeah, a bit of hip movement, a bit like a golf swing.
He's got the rhythm.
Yeah, it's not bad.
I wouldn't stand there, guys.
It could go that far.
It could go that far.
Okay, you're right.
Not.
You're right.
Not right.
Yeah, and then get ready to, yep,
Get ready to
it a
throw
yank.
it away?
Give it a yank.
And what if it...
Yep, good one.
I told you I had no insurance. What do you think of his form?
Barishnikov, he's not. He's a big, strong lad. I do notice, and I'm going to dob him in here, he's got the small hammer. He's got yours.
Oh, he's got the ladies' hammer?
Yeah, he has.
Oh, that'd be
so
right for
he's been a bit of a
swimmer,
girl, I
Bit of a
think.
swimmer.
Bit of it, yeah. So,
Yeah.
but no, not looking too bad.
That's a disgrace.
Bit of a girl,
How's
eh?
the head on it?
He didn't even let the thing go.
No Barishnikov there, was it? I was following it.
That Stuart Rendell's a bit of a character, though, isn't he?
He sure is.
Your style on the track
He
and
is.
field area?
No,
I don't think
safe,
so.
yeah. Still to come, the boys that look up to the Aussie Flash.
Certainly demonstrates to everyone at the school that anything can be achieved.
Donna Ritchie in a battle of strength for a great cause.
Arm wrestle.
Arm wrestle. Ready?
And putting the final touches on the home of the 2000 Games. Did you know it took 18,000 trucks to deliver all of the concrete required for the Olympic Stadium? If all of those trucks were parked end to end, they would stretch from Homebush Bay all the way to Newcastle, some 150 kilometres away.
It's an exciting feeling that you get from the school, seeing a great athlete like Matthew Sherman come through the school.
You've achieved a lot for the school, you've achieved a lot for yourself. You're an inspiration to everyone that goes to the school at Murray Skies North Shore, and I just hope you continue the way you are. You're an inspiration to myself. Thank you.
And Trace, the profile of Australian men's sprinting has definitely lifted, and I believe you're pretty happy with the profile too. Matt Shervington comes along.
Very happy with the profile. Yep, it's improved a great deal. Not only a great inspiration for those students, but all Australians. At 19, Matt is tipped to become the first white male to break 10 seconds for the 100 metres.
Another inspiring young Australian played a vital role 5 years ago in ensuring Matt would be sprinting in front of his home crowd.
Tanya Blanco has grown up a lot since that memorable day in Monte Carlo, but despite the pressures of adolescence, her commitment to the 2000 Games is as strong as ever.
Thanks to the Sydney 2000 bid and your visits to our schools, children like me now know a lot more about the Olympic movement.
For Tanya, the day of the IOC decision at Monte Carlo is now a distant though distinct memory. The great advantage of being just 11 years old is that you don't know enough to be overwhelmed by the occasion.
I was standing on a box and I think most of the time I was worried about falling off, but I really had no idea about how big that bid was and how much work had gone into it and how much work was going to have to go into the Games if we won.
Well done, Tanya.
The credit goes to Sydney itself. It was the best city and we're going to hold the best Games. Despite
her continued involvement with the Olympics, sport isn't the driving force in her life.
I can't say I'm an Olympic hopeful, but I really enjoy dancing. I've been dancing since I was 2.5 and that's the thing that I focus on.
5, 6, 7, 8, off we go.
Not only does she dance, but at the tender and busy age of 16, Tanya teaches others and has done for 3 years.
They're about 8 and 9-year-olds and they're a wonderful bunch of kids.
Come the spring of 2000, Tanya plans a 2-week break in her hectic schedule to be part of the Sydney Games. But there are no special privileges on offer. She'll apply for the Volunteers program and take her chances along with the rest of us.
Yeah, I just want to be a part of it so much. I'm going to fill out that form.
One way or another, you can bet Tanya will be there for the opening ceremony. Meantime, memories of that week in Monaco, especially the moment of the big announcement, will abide forever.
The winner is Sydney, Australia.
Yeah, good story indeed. It's one of those moments when it was announced that we had the Olympics that you remember what you're doing in time. And
what were you doing?
Oh, a bit of gardening, pottering out the back.
At 3 a.m.
Well, yeah.
Interesting.
Doing something in the garden.
Tanya did a great job on that occasion, and it's terrific to hear that she'll be getting behind the Games right until 2000.
And it wouldn't happen without the support of volunteers and patrons. For example, last Sunday, a group called the Macquarie Bats for the Paralympics organised the first of what will be a series of fundraising cricket matches. It was a star-studded game. Paralympian Donna Ritchie reports.
None of the special guests were asked to join the skydiving demonstration, which was just as well. Radio personality Andrew Denton was worried enough about the cricket.
When people like me who have no disabilities whatsoever absolutely look hopeless, it just reminds you that, you know, it doesn't matter if you're in a wheelchair or standing up straight. You can be good or you can be bad at this sport. And I'm a living example of how to be bad.
Cricketer Greg Matthews had more faith in his hand-eye coordination, and his heart was certainly in the right place.
I'm supporting you guys in the whole Paralympic movement. Try and help raise $1 so we can give you guys every opportunity of winning as many gold medals as you possibly can.
Cheered on by the Paralympic Games mascot Lizzie, the cricketers gave their best. Amazingly, one of the most testing deliveries of the day was held down by a vision-impaired bowler, Ched Towns, and his line and length was spot on. By the end of the day, the match and dinner raised $40,000 for the Paralympic Games. Meantime, Andrew Denton was still determined to demonstrate the true meaning of the word disability.
Arm wrestle.
Arm wrestle. Ready?
Yep. All right.
a pushover. You're a pushover. You're a pushover. It's great to see local communities and also celebrities getting behind not just the Paralympics, but the Olympics and everything in between.
It is superb. Now, we'll keep you up to date on what's happening with the Macquarie Bats and when their next fundraiser is happening.
Coming up, 300 Olympians reliving Australia's greatest Games moments.
You lost by less. Geez, you were hard done by. Unbelievable.
We dip into the mailbag to see if you've won an Olympic Club membership.
And Sydney's third landmark.
The design of itself is a feature. It's a piece of sculpture.
Welcome back to the Games. Two outstanding efforts from the Games mailbag this week. Both very deserving winners of Olympic Club family membership. 12-year-old Alicia Butterworth of Lagana in Tasmania thinks the Olympics symbolises peace. Her drawing of the Olympic cauldron certainly reflects that.
And the kids have the right ideas today. Sonia Corsini of South Australia emailed us to say that she thinks a child from each nation competing should join together as a symbol of unity to light the cauldron.
Alicia and Sonia will be hearing from the Olympic Club.
And congratulations to these lucky members who have won tickets to the opening and closing ceremonies.
Victoria may not have the Games this time around, but Victorians are very serious about keeping the spirit of the Games alive, in particular a group known as the Olympians Club.
The club held their annual dinner recently. Now, usually seven's a lucky number. On this occasion, the Victorian Olympians decided to go one better.
Olympics in years ending in 8 was the theme that drew together some of Australian sport's greatest names. Edie Robinson, Australia's first female Olympic athlete from Amsterdam in 1928, was special guest, joining athletes from London in 48, Mexico City in 68, Seoul in 88, and even Nagano from earlier this year.
It's quite an exclusive club still, and it's a great honour to be part of it.
As a gold medalist, I think a lot of people put you in awe, but I'm in awe of a lot of them, and they don't really know that, and it's a good way tonight to show it.
The gala ball was a chance for old teammates from around the country to catch up and relive some memories, like the 88 Seoul team celebrating their 10th anniversary.
But I think I finished just about 1.5 metres behind the winner, Carl Lewis.
And what was
it was close.
What was your final position?
I think I was 19th or 20th.
19th in the long jump, there you go.
Thank you very much.
Really pushed Carl Lewis to the limit.
It was an extra special night for 68 dual gold medalist Michael Wendon, who got to see rare footage of his 100 metres win for the first time.
I'm rapt in the fact that footage has been found after all of these years.
You could fill volumes and volumes of storybooks from some of the yarns floating around this room tonight. Of course, as the night goes on, the winning margins get bigger and the stories even more sensational.
You lost by less. Geez, you were hard done by. Unbelievable.
So, Brooksy, how many medals do you think we're going to win in 2000?
I'm not sure that we'll do as well as we did back in 56, but if I was a betting man, I'd say we're going to crack double figures in terms of gold. There you go.
And I reckon you are a betting man.
Well, I might have a little wager.
If you want a safe bet, put your money on the main Olympic Stadium being completed by the time we're back on air early next year. Here's the latest on progress at Homebush.
This series of photographs taken from atop one of the light towers provides a graphic and fascinating record of the stadium's progress over the last 2 years. With work now 90% completed, Alan Patching is delighted, to say the least.
I've travelled around the world, and the newest and best stadiums in the world are the French Stadium, the Amsterdam Stadium, and a couple in America. And frankly, this one leaves them for dead. This is the best stadium on the planet, and we're proud for all Australians to know that.
The project will also be finished not only on budget, but with more than they bargained for, 2 giant video screens instead of the one originally planned. All in all, everything looks good for the official handover to Stadium Australia on the 1st of March. But once the Olympics are over, some major changes are planned to suit the site's multifunctional future.
It'll look very different in the sense that we're in the Olympic mode at the moment, and when the Olympics are over at the end of December 2000, the large so-called temporary stands at the north and the south end, the one behind us, are demolished.
That will reduce capacity from 110,000 to a more intimate 80,000, and roofing will be extended to cover all the seating. Most impressive of all, 47 rows of seats on either side of the stadium can be moved 15 metres closer to the action for rectangular ground sports like rugby, and all at the push of a button.
Now, who's got control of that one button? Because you could have some fun mid-game, couldn't you? And with a couple of thousand people sitting here and all of a sudden they start shifting back a few metres?
I hadn't thought about that, but we can talk about that off camera.
Whichever mode the stadium is in, Alan Patching feels it's more than just a triumph of construction and engineering.
The design of itself is a feature. It's a piece of sculpture. You can feel the people. You can see Kathy Freeman out there doing a thing. I've said that before and people say you're over the top, but it's true. This place is alive before it's given its first heartbeat. There's no question about that.
Well, Trace, I think your money's pretty safe there, but isn't it looking good out there? I mean, the stadium ahead of schedule?
That's when you start feeling all tense and tingly. It's going to be done soon.
I can't wait. As you did mention, this is our last show for the year. We're taking a break, but it's still full steam ahead on our website.
That's thegames.7.com.au. You can email us at this address or drop us a line at locked bag 7777 Epping, New South Wales 2121.
We look forward to hearing from you and seeing you in the new year. We'll leave you with some of the game's finest moments.
And have a good Christmas.
All right. See ya.
you.
Sometimes I see him as being very erratic.
Consider this statistic. If you want to play basketball, at the Olympic...
Can we just go through so Neil knows what he's saying? Preliminaries. You can stand at the preliminaries. And if you're still standing, I'll get it. No, something.
So what was your...
Oh, my God. It's the cappuccino that did it.